Hello, how's it going? Yesterday I had a small amount of massive success followed by a large amount of frustration. So let's just focus on the good stuff. Here I've got my map editor and I made just a tiny difference, which is big. This is a big thing. Is now when I move the mouse, I've got mouse movement events working. This is really good because it was getting a little hard for me to estimate where objects were going to land based on mouse clicks, and then I had to delete objects and things. Let me just pop in here, I'll load in a map. Yeah, so here I've got my map. Currently I've got the player object selected. I'm in new object mode, and this little preview is showing me, hey, wherever I click, this is how the grid snapping is working. This is where that object's going to land. Awesome. Now the other cool thing is if I go into select mode, the mouse will say, hey, for where your position is, this is the object you're going to select. So again, it just makes it much easier to view the changes which are going to occur. Now if I'm in edit mode and I click in edit mode, it will move the object, and again I get a preview of, hey, this is where that object is going to move. In hindsight, I should have had that from the start, but it was a little bit of research to work out how to get it to work. Anyway, it's working now. Also, now when I zoom out to a certain extent, the grid disappears, just to improve readability. And I've got these little boxes in here. And what these boxes are is they are trigger areas for the arena. So if I just pop in here, I have these arena blocks. These will be triggered once the player activates the arena, and they will pop into existence and just block the player from leaving the area until the arena is complete. We have these arena start areas, and each arena will have a parameter like the number of waves of enemies and a multiplier which will affect the number of enemies spawned. And I also have these spawner objects. Now these spawner objects, currently they just have a flat spawn rate, but as I add more monsters, I'll have a spawn rate per monster. But yeah, that functionality is in there. I'm yet to really implement it in my game system, but it's a start. We can say it's a start. Now, the other thing I want to talk about, I was going to save this for a different video, but today was a small update, so I might as well. As you know, we are in a new year, and one thing I wanted to do was just plan out some goals. I decided to take a different approach, and that is, whereas previously I had no goals or did things in a very haphazard way, this time I'm following a system. And I'm not necessarily saying this is a perfect system, but having some system must be better than nothing. So the way my goal planning system for this year works is I'm starting with an outcome in mind, and the purpose of this, it's something which is out of my control. The purpose is just to emotionally motivate me, to get me fired up. So I've written here some obnoxious amount of money that my game project is going to make. It's probably not going to make that much money, but I need a goal. I need to get fired up. I need to be working on my project. Here's the thing, right now my motivation level is at an all-time high. I know the past few videos I sounded sort of tired, looked sort of tired, but I am super motivated. I went and visited the main Arc Shrine again a few days ago to pray, to make merit for the project. So I am riding high, but that motivation is not going to last forever. I'm looking at about a 14-month development cycle. There's a strong chance motivation will dry up, about 100% chance. And so what I need is, first up, I need a boost in motivation, but secondly, I need to cultivate discipline and habits. Anyway, back to it. So when I'm working on this project, I just need to visualize like an obscene amount of money. I need to think of myself like a gangster, like a baller. I'm kidding, but there is some truth in that. Okay, so I've got some outcome in mind. Just visualize $500,000. I don't know. No, it's not that much, but it's something. The next stage is, what are my goals for things which are in my control? So what are some goals I can set, sort of like a system? What can I do? I've got here 1 devlog per day. Sorry guys, that's it. I'm making 1 devlog per day. Now, this is not going to be achievable once my holiday period ends and I have to live in the realm of reality again and work and have a life, but I can, for instance, reclassify that as document some portion per day, even if that gets amalgamated into a weekly devlog or something. Just do something in terms of documenting every day. Another goal is to get a demo out by the end of February. See how that goes. I think the gameplay is getting there. It needs to be tweaked. I understand that the gameplay doesn't look too much fun at the moment. I'll get there. As well as maybe adding 1 more enemy type, and we'll see how things go graphically. Another goal is to ship by next February. We'll see. We will see. A lot of that will be hiring people to get the assets done, the artwork and the music, I feel, as well as on my end, developing levels and playtesting everything. Those are some things I could probably add to that list. But then, what I'm doing furthermore is so the goals which are in my control are still sort of high level. So what I need some even more low level goals. These are like the base operating system. And these are the things that if I do them, they will increase my probability of achieving my other goals. Those are: number 1, plan every night before bed. I have just a piece of paper. I write down items that I think, like, this is the task I should tackle tomorrow. Just 1 step at a time. Next one, and this is a little bit extreme. This is just for my case, but let's say bed by 8 p.m., wake up 4 a.m. I'm a morning person. It's going okay so far. Limit social media. Good advice. I sink a lot of time into that sometimes. No alcohol. Jeez, how personal do you want these devlogs to get? But, you know, I'm in high performance mode right now. I'm in development mode. I can't just be having fun. Alcohol isn't even that much fun. Anyway, how personal do you want this to get? Let's just say I had a very happy new year, and that's probably it for me for now. Next one is playtesting. Be playtesting constantly. Even if I don't have the motivation to do a full-on development cycle, even if I'm, like last year at some point when I was in the thick of it, I would be working 10-hour days. Yes, I'm certain. Yeah, I'd show up at 8 a.m. and be working constantly and finish at 6 p.m. 10-hour days. If I get home and I'm whacked, I'm tired, I can at least sit down, play a little bit, and tweak some parameters for like jumping speed or gravity or something, you know? And that ties into my next one, which is to have no 0 days. Ambitious goal, but to be doing a little bit every day, even 5 minutes work. Minimize overhead, minimize expenditures in my personal life, because this project, I scoped it out. I'm estimating right now that it's going to cost about $15,000. I've got it covered. But tying into that, I really probably need to minimize overhead, especially with like living on planet Earth right now, the cost of living crisis, and I'm funding my own game. That's crazy. Hey, that's the situation. I'm just laying it out. Let me know down below, do you guys have any goals? Do you guys have any projects that you're working on? And otherwise, that will be it. So, all the best, and I will see you again soon. Bye.